My shirt.
We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All Things Events. This is the People's and Vendors Hub. And yes, we're back. We needed a break. The team needed a break. Listen, your mental health is your number one priority. And this team needed a break to just sit back, relax, rejuvenate, and we are back and back fully loaded for you. Today we have an amazing show. If you're on here, you're watching us live, please allow StreamYard permission so that you can be part of the show. And of course, so we can hear your thoughts, we can see your comments, and we want to answer as many questions that you have. Today we have an amazing show. It's all things photography. Yes. So if you didn't know, photographers are one of the most hardest working vendors in the event space. Listen, I've seen some of these vendors, photography vendors, literally be on the floor to capture that moment. So today we have two amazing photographers within the community, and I'm just so excited and grateful and humble that they have taken the time to join us here live to talk about photography's do and don'ts and to share with you and educate us on how do we change the narrative going forward. It's your girl MCJT, and I'm so humbled to be your host. So please help me welcome the one and only, I call him the MCJT preferred photographer. He is my to go to. It's the one and only Bango Photography. Please help me welcome Bango Photography. Hey, welcome, Bango.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joyce. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. And then next we have SHELIMA Photos, another phenomenal photographer within the community. And just so you know, photographers are not only males. So sis, tell them who you are and welcome.
Yes. There are females in the house. Okay, my name is
Right.
Sheila. So welcome. I am so glad to be here.
Awesome. Again, thank you for joining us once more. Please share the video. Share the video. Tell a friend to come in and listen. If you know anyone who is interested about embarking in this photography journey, this is the place for them. Okay, so we're going to get started. And first question I have for you is, first and foremost, how did you both identify photography as your niche?
Okay, so for me, I had a post-grad school to-do list, and on that list was photography. Don't ask me how it came about. It was very random, but now I say God put it in my heart. It was there, and once I left grad school, I didn't do it right away. A few years passed, and when I actually saw Bango doing his photography, I'm like, where did my list go? So I thought, okay, and I called him and I said, what do you think about me doing this? He said, Shelima, go ahead and do it. That's how I got started, really.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really that simple.
I love the fact that you had a list and you were pretty much going through your list, and this was something that you wanted to do and you did it. So great work, sis. Bango?
Where do I start? I've always loved photography. I will give credit to my father, who's of blessed memory now, because there was a stash of black and white photos in his collection. So I would ask questions about the people who were in his pictures, and he would narrate me stories about them and stuff like that. But he concluded to me that it's nice to take photos as memories. So as I grew up, when I was able to afford a a camera, a disposable camera, I then started my journey, and then until I've evolved to what and who I am now.
Absolutely. So welcome to you both. And listen, there's nothing like finding your niche and sticking to it. I think we've had that discussion here about finding your niche and what that is and sticking to it. So thank you both for sticking to it. And next question is, what are some of the struggles? What are some of the struggles you faced? And how did you overcome those struggles in your photography journey? Bango, would you like to take this question first?
I think
What are
he's
some of,
having technical discuss. Can you hear me?
I think Bango is having some issues. Let me see.
Yeah, I think he's having some technical.
All right. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Bango, can you hear me?
He can hear, but we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
He can hear. He can hear us, but we cannot hear him.
All right.
Yes.
So,
Yes. I can.
Hang on the other line. It's echoing.
Can you hear us now? Oh, no. All right. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties, but we are going to rectify it shortly.
Yes.
Can you hear us now?
I have just one device.
All right. Now go ahead. I think.
All right. So you guys can hear me throughout?
We can hear you now.
Okay. So like I was saying,
Bango, excuse me, can you shut off the other device, please?
it's just one.
Oh,
Let me see.
there's an echo. Interesting. All right, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, I had my inspiration from my dad. So that is how I evolved, and I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Okay. Bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties. All right, try that again.
Bango, can you hear?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Perfect.
Yes,
We can hear you.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Thank you for your
All
patience,
right.
ladies and gentlemen.
So, yeah, so I bought my first disposable camera some 20 years ago, and I started taking pictures for free. And then as I evolved, I saw other photographers work, and with the advent of social media, admire their work and stuff. But of note, I will mention Dre of Dre Vision.
Nice.
He is the one that encouraged me. Like, you got to get into this. We need more people within our community, because he and Brings Image cannot do it themselves. So I went in.
That's fantastic. You know, life is about helping others, you know, when in terms of doubt, you know, that little faith that you have, just having someone to help push you a little bit. So that is amazing to hear that Dre Visions was one of the photographers that helped push you to be where you are. Shelima, would you like to share your struggles?
Yes. Well, before I get to struggles, I like to talk about some do's and don'ts first before I get to struggles. How about that?
Right.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So I'm gonna start with do's. Okay. Very first do is to arrive early. If you have an event, especially if you've never been to that event, to that location, arrive early. Personally, I arrive at least an hour early. I arrive there, I check out the place, I check out the lighting, I meet the pose, because a lot of times I would get a client that I haven't met in person, right? So I arrive early, I meet them, we chat, about everything. Second is I learn name. Obviously, my client, I know their name, I know their number. But if I'm shooting a wedding or any other type of event, I like to know who I'm shooting, right? Sometimes they would book events maybe for their friends or for someone else, or maybe a wedding planner. So I get to meet the couple, I get to meet, if there are other photographers there, I meet them and I chat with them. And if they're parents, grandparents, I introduce myself so that they're not saying, hey, photographer lady, photographer lady. So at least they know my name, I know their name. And also respect the privacy of whoever you're shooting, right? Whenever I'm getting to know my client, part of my contract is telling them that the pictures I take are going to be online, right? Social media. So they have the right to tell me, hey, I don't want mine on there. And if they don't, I tell them to so they tell me I don't want it, and so I include that in my contract. So I do not share, social media. I've only had one person which actually later changed their minds because the session went so well. They were so happy with how it went. They actually decided to say, you know what, go ahead and share it. And the images came out so great. So I had to share it. So on to the don'ts. Okay.
We want to hear it, girl. Tell us.
Holy
As
smokes.
an MC, I want to hear this as an MC right now. Please tell us.
Whew, I don't think I'm ready for this. Hey, let me tell you. Okay, the number one don't that us photographers, we really, oh my goodness, we as professional photographers, we are paid to be there. Whether the client is our friend, family, whoever, we are paid to be there. We are under contract. And being under contract, we are there to photograph all the special moments. So if you come in that you are not paid to be there, okay, if you are any other random person with a professional camera, that's great. You have a camera, that's great. But please, I beg you in the name of Jehovah, please do not start taking pictures. Please do not come and be taking pictures to the point of pushing me aside. Okay. Respect the fact that there is a paid photographer there to take pictures, and they are there to capture those special moments. Because a client gets their images, they're not going to care if someone else was there obstructing the shot. They care about the fact that you were not able to capture that moment. You see now. So we are there, we are paid to shoot. Please, if you have a digital camera, please, if you see that there is a professional photographer, please do not try and shoot. Please get out of the way of the photographer. Okay. Number two, kind of goes along the lines with this other one, people with their phones. I understand you want to capture the moment, you want it maybe for your social media, you want to shoot video, but again, it goes along the lines of getting in the way of the photographer. Because if I have my camera and I'm shooting and you are there with your phone like this, you are obstructing me, right? And the lighting on the other camera,
flashlight,
the flash. And most times that flash is the camera's own flash, which is really not that great. It interferes with my lighting. You see that? So when I tell people, it might sound rude, it might come off rude, but it's necessary for me to tell you to get out of the way. Okay. Number three, we do not shoot people when they're eating. Okay. Sometimes someone might say, hey, snap me, I'm done eating, or you can snap me when I'm eating. That's fine. But generally, we do not shoot people when they're eating. So most of those times, we are probably eating ourselves because almost every event that I have been to, they almost force me to eat. So make sure you eat. So during that time, we are also taking a break. We are getting off our feet because most times we've been on our feet for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. We're getting off our feet also to drink some water, eat, and rest. So that's it. So about struggles, I'm going to let Bango take this one. Go ahead.
All right, Bango, let's hear it.
All right. So when it comes to struggles, the first thing is having a second shooter not show up. Imagine you are doing a wedding of 300 people in a big hall. You need to cover all your bases, all the angles.
Absolutely.
I focus on the couple. and then you focus on the crowd reaction, and we can interchange. You can't do it by yourself. The
Absolutely.
second is having backup equipment. Have at least 2 with enough memory cards. You have to shoot your live away that day. In the event one of your equipment fails or memory card corrupts, switch it. Very important.
Nice.
Another struggle is the environment. If the hall is not well illuminated, you have to play around it. That is why we go around with extra light and to light up the place. Customer will not care if there was light or not.
Absolutely.
But we know what they expect, so we come prepared.
And
then one of the last struggle. I don't want, the list is long. One of the last struggle is just the crowd interfering you. Just repeating what SHELIMA says. You have candid moments, the sacred moments where the couples are being put together, like I get married, ring exchange. It's a critical moment.
Absolutely.
You've already calibrated your lens to capture that moment, and somebody comes and interferes you. That's my pet peeve. The last one, first dance and first kiss kind of stuff. Joyce, MCJT, I'm sorry. You usually tell the audience, no pharothane. This is their moment.
Yes.
Let them have their moment.
Absolutely.
And let us take the photos. You have people who come to pharothane. We know you have moment. Just give that 3 minutes. Let them dance. We take the photos and the videos, and then we dance the night away.
There you go.
Yeah, so those are the things to struggle with.
Wow.
It's a work in progress. I'm pretty sure we'll fix it.
We have to fix it, right? We have to change the narrative, and that's why we're having this conversation. As you both were talking, I was just thinking about the fact of having it's not just left to you all. You mentioned having a great MC, having an event planner that is actively involved as the event progresses, because a lot of times some people might just, okay, I plan the event. No, you have to be part of that. And it's the MC's job. The good MC should be ensuring that these statements, these announcements are made. And I'll speak for myself. You cautiously are telling people to move away. It shouldn't be a ruckus, right? It's not about you. You're cautious, say, hey, could you please step back? Could you please turn off the flashlight? These vendors have been paid. Okay, for some of you who want to be, I need you to go sign a contract, but right now they have signed a contract and they have to deliver. So it's so important to have a team that is supportive during any event, because at the end of the day, like Bango, like SHELIMA, you said, the client doesn't care who had their flash on, who was doing what. They just want to see a great finished product, period. So yes. So we are going to change that. And like Bango said, it's work in progress, but we've got to make it better. So now we want to talk about a topic that I have heard so many things about it. And I want to give you guys an opportunity to educate the community on photography and pricing. Let me tell you, I've heard someone say, oh, it's just taking pictures. And I'm like, what? Like, no. So a public service announcement today, photography is not just taking pictures. But today we have the pros that are here that are going to educate us on photography and pricing. So you all take it off, SHELIMA.
Hey, again, I don't think you're ready for me. Hey,
we want to hear it, sister. Speak.
Okay, let me adjust my earrings first, because when I listen. So I was one of those people who used to think that photography was just taking pictures. I'll confess, I used to be one of those people until I got into it. Until I got into it. So it tells that we are charging you, let's say, $150 per hour. Okay, I'm just going to walk off of that 1 hour, nothing less. Okay, Let me tell you what that 1 hour entails. All right, like Bango showed his camera. I'm sure Bango has like 3 cameras now. I have 2. All right, I have flashes. I have lenses. We have to calibrate all of those, and that's pre-session, pre-event. Okay, we have to charge every battery for our flashes, battery for our different lights, batteries for the cameras themselves. We have to charge the camera. We have to make sure everything is set. So that's pre. Okay. Most of us here in VA, our events are in Maryland. So we have to drive on the day of the event. Like I said earlier, we arrive at least 30 minutes to an hour to that event, sometimes even earlier. So we have to drive. Sometimes I had an event all the way in Baltimore one time. That was like an hour, 20 minutes drive. And it was a long drive. So driving all the way over there, getting my stuff ready, checking out everywhere. Sometimes I have to set up the lighting, check out the lighting. So that's me being there at that time. So let's say I only have to shoot for 1 hour, right? I shoot most times when I shoot, let's say typical event, 4 hours. If I shoot for that 4 hours, I usually come out with about 300 to 500 images, sometimes more. I did the last birthday I did on the yacht. I shot for 5 hours. I had 1,120 pictures from that event. Okay. So let me back to my 1 hour example. So I'm there, I shoot for that 1 hour. Now, let me do a quick comparison. You paid the DJ, I don't know, $500, $600, $700. They have come there, they have played, everybody has enjoyed. Boom, they are gone. Their work is finished. Photographers have to come and shoot one, and we make sure that we shoot every single person. We arrive on time, everybody's chilling. We shoot everybody sitting down. We shoot the decor. We shoot everything, right? Yep. So once it's done with the numerous hundreds of images that we have, back to my 1 hour example, if I've shot that 1 hour, okay, and I get, let's say, 200, 300 images, my work is not even half done at that point. I have to go home. I have to upload, and that's my extra time. Whether I'm doing this full time or I have an extra job, I have family, kids to take care of, that's the extra time that I do. And from that, we have to go through every single one of those images, whether bad or good. I don't know how Bango calls his, he can speak on that. The way I do mine, I go through each and every one of them, and I pick the best and I edit. Imagine if you have blemishes on your face, you have something you want to get rid of, I have to get rid of all of that. I edit every single one of those images. So that can take 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. When we charge that amount of money, I need to beg. I am begging our people. Well, let me not beg. I'm just wanting to inform.
To educate.
Inform and educate. Thank you. Educate. Yes. Please. We are not trying to bankrupt you. We are all out to make money. Again, whether it's our main hustle or it's our side hustle, we have businesses to run, we have taxes to pay, we have families to feed. So we are just trying to have you pay our worth, right? Have you pay us what we are worth with the amount of time that we've put in it, with the amount of time and energy and all of that. And someone said that's a lot of work. Yes, it is a lot of work. So we really just want to educate everyone out there, please. And it really upsets and hurts me when people try to charge us very, very low. You're just taking pictures. I mean, so again, please understand that we are not trying to bankrupt you. We are just trying to have you pay our worth. So that was a lot. I hope that's a lot of work.
Okay.
You spoke from the heart.
In summary, Shelima, there's this adage that goes, nothing good comes easy.
Exactly.
Post-processing, we use software, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Lightroom. We have Topaz Labs, Capture One. The list goes on. Yep. It costs money. We do yearly subscription.
Yes.
After you've done with the photos, there are some photos that you will say in the wedding, you have to do Photoshop. To process one photo in Photoshop takes like 10, 15 minutes. Depends on your skill level. So the client wants the best results, but they do not know what goes behind the scenes. So what we are charging the customers doesn't really measure up to the amount of work that we put in there.
Yes.
They would like to get the memories, but they don't know the work that goes behind it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
when we charge you guys money, it is for the time that we take to process the pictures. Yeah.
Listen, I just have to add that, Bango said something, you pay for what you get, but for the community to understand that there is a lot of labor. There is a lot of labor, and it's labor of love that goes into this. When Shalimi said something about 1,000 photos in 5 hours, and I'm thinking like, wow, that's a lot of pictures. That is a lot of pictures. So just imagine sitting down and going through 1,000 photos and then starting to reduce it or good or bad and which one you're going to edit. And of course, in regards to pricing, and I want you guys to sort of help the audience understand or the community understand, pricing for a white wedding will be different from pricing from something else. So it depends on the event. Can one of you just talk a little bit more about that? Because that's something that we shouldn't be expecting to pay $300 for a white wedding or vice versa for a graduation party. So just chime on that a little bit for me, please. Bango.
Okay, I'll start. So for my wedding packages starts from 2,500. That's for the whole day's wedding. And then so it starts with pre-wedding photo shoot and the wedding day. Within that package, you have like digital copies, and then depending on our negotiations, a 20-page photo book, and then you have pictures in a flash drive because some people are not tech savvy, so they prefer it mailed out. And then if you want, and then you have a certain number of photos, say 500 photos plus, between 500 to 700, and then you have some add-ins in there based on what they want.
Of course.
And then there are another tier, $3,000, 3,500, and it goes by the crowd location.
Got it.
So this is just local. If we are going out of state, out of the country, the money increases. So it is case by case.
Absolutely.
But minimum 2,500. Then when it
For-
comes to like a regular, say, civil wedding, that too has its own checklist. 2,000, 3,000. It just depends. Regular photo shoots, how many dresses you are wearing or suits you are wearing. So there's a minimum amount of money that you have to pay. Number of pictures you're getting and stuff like that.
wow.
So it's case by case basis.
Absolutely. Bango, someone said, does that include wedding album? So for that your wedding pricing, does that include a wedding album as well?
Yes, it includes a 20-page wedding album. Yes, a 20-page photo book.
Got it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Shalima, did you have anything to add on this topic in terms of, I just wanted the audience to understand that there are different pricing for different events, or?
Yeah, I mean, Bank covered all of it. I would not charge the same. Like I did a college graduation a couple of weeks ago. I will not charge a college graduation the same as I would charge whether it's a traditional wedding or a white wedding. Yeah, so it's definitely different. And like Bango said, the number of images, the number of people at the hall, and also the size of the hall, because you have to bring in more lights and all of that. The size of the hall. Yes, that's pretty much it. He covered it all.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. So it's not just taking pictures here. There's so much more that goes into seeing those beautiful moments that have been captured forever. Photography is one of those things where it's a lifetime memory that has been captured in place. So please, it's not just taking a picture. It's hard work. It's lots of labor that goes in to produce what you see as the final product. So we're going to move on. Bango, if there was one thing that you could change within the photography arena within our community, what would it be?
I would say collaboration. We have a lot of peers within our community that are within the photography sphere. We need to work together. We have different skill level. We have novices who want to get within this field. So I would really encourage that we collaborate, mentor the younger ones, and then we work together and build up our community. And that can be accomplished by, say, having little gatherings,
Absolutely.
little groups, and
Yeah.
then just have a conversation and then hold their hands. Because remember, photography is not a day's job. Every day you learn a new thing,
Yeah.
you learn a new skill. Yes, how to tune your camera, how to focus, not talk of editing. So there's so much entangled within it that I know most of us have different skill sets. For the ones that I'm talking with, we learn, we pick on each other's brains. So collaboration is really, really very important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shalima?
Yes, I would say more women, more,
Lady, you heard it from
more,
another queen. Get in here.
more and more ladies. And I completely agree with everything Bango said, completely, completely. So mine, I say more women because you'll be amazed at the reaction I get from people when they see me. I
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think in this 2020 people will be shocked that there's a woman taking pictures, but they are very shocked when they see me with my strap, my two heavy cameras, my lens. I had this guy stood there like,
Changing the narrative, sis. Changing the narrative.
I am telling you, he was so, and I had to approach him like, what is going on here? He was amazed, he's impressed. So I think we need more women to do this. There are a couple of others that I've seen, and so I would like us women to also collaborate, and whether it's just within ourselves or with the men, to really, really work together. Because I think there's a lot of work to go around. There is a lot, there's money to go around, there's work to go around. So I think we can do a lot to collaborate.
Okay. All right. You know what? I totally agree. More women, but I will tell you personally, I will let that to you and all the other women out there because, sis, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work and more power to you and to all the queens out there that would like to embark on this. We already have someone who's doing it and she's killing it. So please reach out to her if you need assistance or how to begin this journey. So we've talked about how we grow the photography community. And I hear that Bango mentioned that it would be great for us to have little training sessions and things of that sort. So the challenge here is that we're going to challenge you all. The All Things Event Show team is going to challenge both of you to begin something. And we are 100% committed to ensuring that it's a success, right? We will promote it because
The lady before the gentleman.
that is how we grow, right? And that is how we can get more women, right, to just come in and say, you know what, let me play with this. Let me, I may like this. You never know. So that's our challenge to you both. But I know that in everything, you have to start somewhere. And if there are some platforms that have been, very instrumental in your growth as a photographer, especially when you began this journey, what are some of those platforms? And please, let's educate those who may have an interest, and you never know where this may lead to.
Yes, yes, yes. Number one, YouTube University.
Ah, my
Let me
favorite.
tell you, OMG, YouTube University. And the best part is it is right there on your phone. You can literally add, this is really bad, but you could be stopped at a stop sign and you're there and you are watching. That's how I got to learn. When I started this in Germany. There were many other photographers, but I really wanted to learn on my own. During my downtime while I was at work, I would watch and watch and watch, and I would take a lot of notes, lots and lots of notes. And once I finally got my camera, and because I started in Germany, there's a lot of beautiful scenery. And I just went out and started shooting. I just shot whatever, and there were a lot of folks there who were willing to be models, and I would just shoot them. So I would say, if you're starting out, first thing, just go to YouTube. Watch as many. So I recommend watch different videos to get some of the basics, and then when once you really narrow down the kind of photography that you want, maybe you can zone in on some of the particulars. And as you watch many times, you get to see the YouTubers that you really like, or that you can really get the pertinent information from them, so you can save those and you learn over and over again. There are a lot of them on YouTube. So that's number one. Number two, like I said, just go out and shoot. It's by shooting that you will learn your mistakes.
Practice makes perfect.
Making mistakes is necessary. So when you make those mistakes, don't be like me that sometimes I try to be perfect. I'm like, I should have known this. No, you've never done this before. So shoot as many times as possible. And if you have someone who has done this already, reach out to them. So those are the things that worked for me. And I think it will be really helpful for anyone who's starting out.
Fantastic. Bango?
In addition to what SHELIMA said, most importantly, learn how to calibrate your camera, talk to existing photographers, as many as possible. It's very important. If they show you something on their camera, it sticks in your memory, practice, go shoot. Depending on what aspect you want to learn. For example, focusing, very, very important. Say you are taking a portrait outside. How do you get a bokeh? That is a blurred background, while the model is crisp, sharp. Things like that. That's just one thing. Another aspect is learning how to light the environment. There are so many courses on that. And then there are big photographers out there. There is Devin Robinson in Charlotte. There is Jerry Gionis, specialist in wedding photography. There's Joy Grimes. All of them are educators. If you can afford any of their courses, buy the bundle. You will never regret.
Love it.
Buy and own it. Yeah.
I love it. And this is why this platform exists, right? To help empower and collaborate. Listen, we just learned YouTube University, one of my two go-to, and Bango has dropped some nuggets on some of those, leaders in the photography arena that all photographers out there should know. And truth is that you'll be surprised at some of these platforms like Udemy. There's so many out there that will have specials, and become a member, join them so that you can get these. A lot of times they have discounts or they have free things. Get on there. There is nothing you have to practice to get better. So we've talked about all these great things. We talked about trainings. We talked about how we change the narrative. Now, as we start to wrap up on the show, I would just want to encourage our up and coming photographers, or those that aspire, to walk down this journey someday. And correct me if I'm wrong, SHELIMA and Bango. Photography, there are different types. There's wedding, there is high-end fashion. So you don't have to be a wedding photographer. Is that right?
Yes.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. You don't have.
Like me, I'm a master of all crap. I do weddings, I do birthdays, I do photo shoots, I do studio. there's boudoir photo shoot, and there's so many types of
Yes.
photography.
Yes. So I've heard people that just specialize only in children. That is your
Yes.
specialty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw I don't know, but there's a Caucasian photographer who only specializes in the elderly, and I don't remember his name, but his pictures were just phenomenal. But that was all he captures. So just a friendly reminder that get into it and find your niche, find the arena that you're great at and what what you long for and that passion, and go for it. Go for it. So we're gonna take a few questions. We're gonna take a few questions. Let's see. Solange says someone had charged me someone had charged me 2,500 for photos for a birthday of about 3 hours in a hall. I thought that was too expensive. What do you think?
Bango, take that one. Holy smokes.
This is where the questions are coming in. Go ahead.
I don't know where Solange lives. Maybe she lives in Silicon Valley. I don't know the negotiations. 2,500 for 3 hours. To me, it's good money. I hope the photographer provided the best photos and covered all the bases during that event. So I'm technically having the photographer's back.
Well, so we're hoping that you got the best for your money. Hopefully.
Yes, that's the hope.
Yes. We're hoping that you got the best for your money. And now I know you all talked about everything depends. It could be how large the event was, the hall, the lighting, the whole 9 yards. So you all have already chimed on that. So we're going to move on to the next question. Solange again says, Solange has a lot of events, it appears. Also, when you talk about photos in that price, does it include videos? So like photo shoot and video.
So it will all depend. So when the client approaches you and you're asking them what do they need, most of them will tell you I want pictures and videos. So for me, I only do pictures. So if you approach me, I tell you straight up, I only do pictures. I had someone recently say, well, I don't really need the professional video, so I just need something here and there. And she really insisted. So what I did for her, I actually included it in my contract that I am not a professional videographer, but this is what you're requesting, so don't expect anything professional. I had to include that in there so that if I give her, the time that I'm able to give her, she'll not one day say, oh my God, I paid you money and you're not giving me professional. But my thing is pictures only. That's it. So I let them know ahead of time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I do videos on my phone for my personal purposes. I share with them. I'm not a videographer. I refer them to other videographers. Period.
Got it. Yeah. Got it. So there is a difference. You don't expect your photographer to provide you videos for your event. If they do, it's out of their kindness, but they are there to focus on pictures and pictures only.
Yes.
All right, let's see if we have any more comments. Let's see. All right, Solange said, got it. Awesome, thank you. We are wrapping up, and I don't see any more questions, just a lot of comments. That's a lot of work. Good. Someone said, good question on pricing. That's fantastic. Solange said, my head will explode. Oh yes, if you're going through over 1,000 pictures and reviewing them and picking and choosing, your head definitely will explode. So as we wrap up, I just wanted to hear your final thoughts on, on photography and how we change the narrative. And SHELIMA, go. Final thoughts, please.
Final thoughts is I want to encourage, like you had mentioned, anyone who has a passion for this. Just photography aside, if you have any passion, go for it now. But if photography is really your passion, please start now. I started with a basic camera. I think the set was like 500 or so. It came with a lens. That's something that you can afford. Don't go and buy expensive cameras. Get something you can afford and start now. photograph your families, photograph landscapes, and you can even charge for very cheap. I charge 50 euros when I was in Germany to shoot like for like 30 minutes to an hour because I wanted that experience, right? So just go ahead and shoot. If you're shooting for free, go ahead and do it. And last thought about pricing, please. We a lot of times are able to work with your budget. Okay, so if we tell how much we charge, if it's a lot for you, don't just back away. Understand that great communication is really just tell us your budget, and most times we can work with your budget. Most times.
Bango?
Okay. Just to compound on what Shelima has just said, photography is a great hobby. I think everybody should get a camera or a phone. Just take pictures. Just take pictures. If you're passionate about pursuing photography further, get a good camera, talk to other photographers, and then learn, and then you'll be somewhere someday. And then pricing wise, we are flexible. Don't be shy. We can work with you. Sometimes we can borrow if we know you personally. Though I don't encourage that. I think that's all I have to say. I look forward to working with you guys. You can get me on bangophotography.com, soon to be live. Instagram, Bango Photography, and Facebook, Bango Photography. See you at the next wedding.
There you go.
Cherished memories.
There you go. Shelima, how can the audience, how can the community reach you?
Yes, you all can check me out on my website at www.shelima.photos, and that's Shelima with one M, .photos. And on Instagram is at Shelima Photos 1. On Facebook is Shelima Photos. You can check me out there. You can check out all my images there. And through there, you can text me, call me, and we can chat. And again, like I said, we can always work with your budget. Okay, so just talk to us. Hopefully, we can chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not be afraid. Reach out, talk to them, and if it works, right? There's only so much. These vendors have to time, energy. It's a lot of work. And truth is, a lot of us have our 9 to 5, so we have to deliver right on the time that we've agreed upon. And we have to labor to ensure that you get what you need. So once more, reach out. Bango, Shelima, thank you so much. We are certainly looking forward to our very first meet and greet photography event. As I mentioned, we are here to promote, and the team is excited to hear when you both will come up with something. And if you're out there, you have a topic that you would like for us to talk more about, for us to learn, and how we change the narrative within the event space, please reach out to us. We are always here. It's all things events. It's the people's and vendors hub. And our goal here is collaborating so we can have memorable experiences together. If you're out there, you need an event host, reach out to me. It's mceetjt.com. Once more, mceetjt.com for all your inquiries and bookings. Listen, if there's one thing we've learned today is this: photography is labor of love. Photography is that moment that is captured, but the moment has been gone, right? It's a moment that's gone forever, but yet has been captured for you to relive it for the rest of your life. So please, let's respect our photographers. Let's pay them comparing to our counterparts, because I hear that a lot. That, do you imagine they want to pay me this, but someone else said, and it's usually someone outside of the community. Let's support our own and let's change the narrative. We're so excited. Thank you so much for joining us. To our audience, please, on the link below, the sites and links to reach out to these amazing vendors are on there. Reach out to them. Don't be afraid. Reach out to them. They will work with you. They said it. They're flexible. And so are most vendors within the event space. Thank you for watching us. And this is the People's Event. This is All Things Events. Thank you so much, and God bless you.